Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. Yana Kasperczak coming into you live as you're from Ontario of Canada as your certified professional performance and spiritual awakening core energy coach. It has been my soul's purpose to help women, to help you get your shit together so you can break free from that mental prison that you find yourself in, that you live in, and build a business and a life or a career that you're not only proud of but excited to wake up to every single day and want to do life and want to not only want to but love your life and love your job or a career or a business or whatever it is that you are trying to build aside or as part of your life. So today's card reading, as you can see, we're back at the cottage. Enjoy every moment that we can, and I got myself a nice comfy chair that I can rock in as well, and because it didn't come with one, so I thought I'd go and get one. So today I actually brought the Witch's Wisdom cards and thought I would do a reading from this deck instead of the Rebel deck. Good morning, Candy. How are you doing, beautiful? Okay, and I will do one card as I always do, and you get to see what it is first. Moon cycles. Everything is about the moon cycles, isn't it? Especially for us women, we actually don't even recognize how connected we are to the universe, to the moon, to the cycles of the seasons, to the cycles of our month cycles, to the sun, to everything. We are connected. Because remember that life is female. Only females can create life. And every person on this planet has their mother's blood. So the blood is feminine blood. Now, with the moon cycles, let's see what this deck has for us. Moon. Here we go. Moon cycles. Drink of the moon on this fine night with loving heart and open sight. Aware of the cyclical ways. Be at one with every phase. This magic has worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There, it is done. Whatever phase you're going through right now, if you want it to be easier, it is actually very simple. You must accept where you are. You must allow yourself to exist where you are and how you are. That does not mean you stay there. It just means that it is time to learn and understand where you are in your life right now and who it's causing you to be during this part of your life. And that also means that if you're not happy with where you are, you can change. You cannot change or control the outside world. If it's raining, you can't go like that and the rain stops. If it's sunny outside, you can't go like that and say, cover the sun with the clouds. So if you can't change nature, why is it that you think and believe, as I once did myself too, we're all humans until we learn and start to really understand what that part nature means with other humans, is that why is it that we believe as humans that in order for us to live a happy life, that something or someone must change? In order for you to be happy, or for me to be happy, the sun needs to be covered by the clouds, so it's not so hot. Or that it rains, so I don't have to water things, right? Because we start to see things as an obstacle, as essentially, in a way, an excuse, so we don't have to do the hard work of changing. But it's only hard in the beginning, for a little bit. It's a phase. We go through this little phase, just like a moon, The moon doesn't complain about all the phases it goes through. It just goes through them. But we as humans, we have evolved, and we are quite conscious that we're also very unconscious. So, what do we do with that? What we do with it is we spend more time practicing being conscious, practicing being in the moment and recognizing and paying attention to who we are being in the moment. And if we're feeling a certain way, if we're feeling triggered or annoyed by something outside of us, it is not outside of us, it's inside of us. It's a question of what story is coming up for you right now from one of the previous phases that you were in when that story was created, that is causing you to be in this physical and mental state of mind, that is trapping you in that mental prison. Mental prison is all it is stories. Stories that are limiting, stories that are crippling, stories that keep us playing small, stories that trigger fear and anxiety and even cause us to feel revolted by something. All of those are stories. But the great thing is that any story can be rewritten, and you can rewrite your stories in the way that you want them to be, in the way that will be something you actually want to wake up to every day. So recognizing what stories you're carrying is actually an important part, because in recognizing what story you're carrying that is causing you to feel in the way that you're feeling is going to help you in rewriting it. How can you rewrite a story if you don't know what the punchline is, what this, the root of the story is? But when you start to understand what it is, it's not for you to stay there. That's what therapists do. They will help you to stay in the story and go dig and dig and dig. Whereas as a coach, I don't do that. I help women to hear their story, to understand their story, to point out certain things through the language that they're using, and let them know what I'm hearing through that story. Sometimes it's exactly the same thing that they were feeling or recognizing, while other times it's one of those, oh, I had no idea that this is the story I was carrying and how that story was actually affecting me, because language is that powerful. Okay, let's get into the reading. After an arduous journey, moon appears to indicate that you are coming to end of the phase. Cycles begin and end and begin again, but in new form, meaning you are a new person with each cycle, with each day, with each time you start to work on yourself. Hey, Rebecca. Rebecca says, hello, ladies. Hello, Rebecca. Welcome. Cycles begin and end and begin again, but in new form. Patterns repeat until the lessons have been fully understood and learned, meaning you will continue to go back to your old stories, to those versions of yourself that are limiting you, that are paralyzing you, that are causing you to procrastinate, until you learn everything that you needed to learn from it and grow from it, so it no longer is there, so it no longer exists. As you step into the new phase, be expectant and full of anticipation, for you will not wish to go over old ground again. As you continue on your healing journey, you will bury those old versions of yourself that were not allowing you to be who you were always meant to be. But they were the most powerful lessons that you needed to have in order for you to become the person that you are meant to be. New opportunities await. So be vigilant. Outcomes lie in your hands. So there's always going to be new opportunities. But what you do with it is entirely up to you. You have opportunities every single day to wake up to your alarm or to snooze, to get your day started early or to sleep in, to go to bed early or to stay up late. You have opportunities beyond that. You have maybe even job opportunities or opportunities to work with someone who can help you to get to where you want to get to. But at the end, it's entirely up to you if you are actually ready for it. And if you are not ready for it, that's absolutely fine as well. Because the worst thing you can do sometimes is to say yes to something that you are not ready for. And the opposite is also the truth, that the best thing it can be is if you give yourself time to be ready for it and then say yes to that opportunity. Whereas sometimes that's the best thing that can happen is you say yes to an opportunity that you feel like you're not ready for because you simply do not believe in yourself. And when you actually start whatever that opportunity is, like for example, for a job, most people will get a job that they're not fully ready for, and they will doubt themselves, they will punish themselves, and they will bully themselves. But eventually, that eventually happens pretty quickly. They become really ready for that job because we get ready in the process of getting ready. We don't get ready just sitting around and hoping and wishing and praying or meditating. Yes, that's part of getting ready as well. Don't get me wrong, because that helps you to balance your system. But you get ready through action and not through just being. Being and doing they're both equally important. You just need to find your own balance within the two. Call down the moon as she embraces you in her soft, luminous glow. Bathe under the pure feminine and restorative energy she immerses with you. Recharge your working crystals under the full presence and go sky-clad in honor of the triple goddess who watches over you as the moon rules your emotions. The moon rules your emotions, but it can also help to balance them. You can also use the moon's energy to recharge your stones, crystals, recharge and cleanse as well. Even the deck of cards, you can put it on the window where the moon is seen. Any kind of jewelry you have, you can put it on the moon as well. On the moon. You know what I mean. You can't really go on the moon. I mean, why have we been to the moon only once? It's a great question, isn't it? To ponder. Okay, never forget that she also lives within you as you work in conjunction with her phases, honoring at all times your new, full, and dark aspects of main, mother, and crone. You go through, we women especially are so connected to the moon that as the moon is going through a phase, we are going through the phase. That's why it's also important when you are let's say you're going for a job interview or you're creating something new for your business, or you're scheduling calls. It's best to work around your own cycles. So when you are going through a cycle, when you are low energy and it's almost like you feel down and you feel drained, you don't want to be having calls at that time. You don't want to be going to an interview and applying for a job at that time. You got to be doing these things that are in alignment with your own cycle. And that also means getting to know yourself. You're not going to be 100% the same as me and my cycles. You're going to be a little bit different. You're going to be your own. But essentially, when you're on your period, this is where you're not going to be doing very much. Whereas for me, that is mostly the truth, but sometimes this is when I'm actually the most creative and the most energized. So I schedule and do some things during that time, but more often than not, it's where I'm more of being and not so much doing. Like, for example, gardening. That's what I'll end up doing, or just sitting down and chilling. That's the other thing that I love and enjoy doing, which is foresight. Open up your receptive feminine side. Your emotions are ruled by the moon phases. Harness the moon's energy and understand her phases for your magical work. Work in conjunction with the triple goddess. Moon revealed. Ancient civilizations used the moon to scry with and to predict weather patterns. The oceans of the world, cycles of nature, emotions, birds, and animals are all affected by the moon. From the new moon waxing to the full moon to the waning moon, plants and herbs as well as spell casting are all affected by and worked with each lunar phase. So, we are all one, we are all connected, we all go through the phases of the moon. The difference is between nature and human nature is that we judge what we go through, and we don't allow ourselves to go through it because we feel, or more like we feel that it's bad, but it's also because of our belief system that is telling us that it's bad, that you're not supposed to be feeling bad, you're supposed to be feeling good all the time. That is unrealistic. We all are going to go through our ups and downs. We are going to have days where we are low in energy, or we simply don't want to do anything. We feel down. We feel sad. And it's absolutely normal to feel sad. Just don't stay there for too long, because that will turn into depression. So, with the moon cycle, or moon cycles, that, I believe, will be all. I can't think of anything else. I am feeling very laid back and relaxed today for the past little while, actually. Enjoying the scorching sun under my man-made cloud called the umbrella. Let me see. There are some comments. Rebecca says, at this point, I observe the pattern and I am able to make a choice as to continue or do something different. Amazing. And that's what it's about. It's just observe, allow yourself to be where you are. If not, then switch and change and do something different. Identify what is triggering you. Sometimes if you're living with anxiety or feeling overwhelmed, it also might be coming from a place of avoidance. You got some things that you have to, need to, or want to do, but you're not taking any action. You are not starting, or you're scared to start. You're not doing something. So it might be coming from that. What's the solution? Do it. And you will feel better. That's the solution. And then Rebecca says, there is a time to feel, a time to heal, and a time to get real. That's a good one. Definitely time to get real sometimes. There we go. Crystals and plants in every room, a sacred space both upstairs and downstairs and outside. Amazing. I love that as well. And then once in a while, just allowing the moon energy to cleanse them, to purify them, to recharge them as well, which means moving them out of that space wherever they are at. Rebecca says, girl, I have a second interview today at 1. Ooh, have fun with that one and good luck. I'm sure you're going to do amazing. But first, semi senior year registration. But first, feed and play with the littles. Quite a bit on your list to do. Prioritizing in terms of memories. When we live our life with the end in mind, thinking about every single thing that we go through, every single thing that we do or don't do, everything that we experience, it's going to be a memory. So out of all of those, what memories are the most precious ones? And do those first, because those are the ones that are going to bring you most joy and happiness. Sometimes maybe not right away, but down the road, those are the ones that will. Do not put your joy and happiness on pause. Put it as a priority. You only get one go at it. There's no going back. There's no changing anything. So do the things that you actually want to do. And if you're finding yourself not allowing yourself to do those things, then I think you and I need to have a conversation so I can see how I can help you to change those stories, to rewrite those stories so they're no longer holding you hostage and you actually get to live your life your way on your terms. Rebecca's currently in the restroom killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Hey, why not, right? And then now quickly cleaning the downstairs bathroom. Hello, Debbie, to you as well. Sometimes, how do I put it? It almost sounds like you might be in the zone of just getting things done as well. And it feels great to do and do and do and do. When we are in that flow state, take advantage of it. Get as many things done as you feel like you want to get things done. But the next day, remember that if you are in a state, energetic and emotional state where you don't want to do anything, allow yourself to be there without comparing yourself to the previous day and punishing yourself and beating yourself up. Oh, I did so much yesterday. Why can't I do the same thing today? Well, because that's the balance between doing and being. It's all about balance. So if you find yourself in that flow stage, just getting things done, allow yourself to be there. And the next day, or maybe even a few hours later, you're like, no, I'm done. I don't want to do anything. I feel pooped. Then allow yourself to be there as well. However you're feeling, it is valid. Here, one thing I feel like I want to share before I hop off here is just a reminder to each and every one of you, not just for you personally, but for people in your life as well. And this is where you can help people. Like the best things, and I want to hear from you as well. For me, what works best, like the lessons that are the most powerful lessons, they're almost like they're quotes. They're a mini tiny quote, which is a mini tiny story. Or a mini tiny story. So this quote, story, phrase, whatever we want to call it, is that I want to leave you with. Your feelings and emotions are valid. Your behavior is not. If you feel triggered and you feel angry, it's valid. But if you express your anger, that is not valid. That is not okay. And that goes for everyone. And if you want people in your life to change, you must lead the change. You must be the leader. You have to lead by example. You have to be the change and live the change. So remind yourself when you are triggered, when you are emotional, and your kids might be triggering you, or your friend, or your parents, or whoever it is, your buttons were pushed, and now you feel a certain way, that whatever you're feeling is absolutely valid. But your actions and your behavior and your reactions, there's a difference between responding and reacting. Your reactions are not valid. And we got to teach that to our kids as well, that they're allowed to feel whatever it is that they're feeling. They're supposed to. But don't shit all over everyone else, right? It just becomes a shit show, quite literally. Rebecca says, that's how my mornings are. It's when I am productive. I work in the evening, then I rest at night. Awesome. See, you already understand your daily cycles, your daily moon cycle, so to speak. And if you have that energy to get things done in the morning, awesome. And if not, then it will be at a different time. And there's some mornings you probably don't have as much energy, and it's very possible that the day before you probably did too much, and that's why now your body is reminding you, we need to balance the doing with the being. Rebecca says, don't worry, unicorn, I do take a break before work and eat and rest as well. Awesome. You are a unicorn yourself, and you are learning more and more and more about who you are, and you are accepting her, embracing her, and then leading the way for everyone else in your life. That is all, my beautiful unicorns, for today. Have an amazing the rest of your day. I am going to go and drink some more of my water, set my computer up for the call later today. Oh, a hummingbird. There's a hummingbird, or maybe a few different ones that come here to these flowers, and I want to plant more of these flowers here. Actually, I want to have a beautiful, I don't know, what is it called, like a wild garden in a way, for all wild creatures that are safe to come here and enjoy the flowers. Oh, another hummingbird. Yeah, see, there's a few different ones, and they're so awesome. I'm sure where you are, there's lots of hummingbirds. Typically where we live, there's not that many, but now I see these flowers. Might be a good flowers to have in my yard to attract the butterflies. Debbie says, my mornings are slow and quiet. Mine too. My mornings, I take my time. And there are a few mornings here and there where I get quite a few things done. I just go and get it done. But primarily, my mornings are slow. That's how I like to start my mornings. The best way to describe it is, I used to be a night person, and the reason why I enjoyed my nights, and this is where I wanted to be a morning person, but I needed to figure out why I was a night person. And the reason why is because in the evenings, that was a time where everyone was asleep and it was quiet and peaceful, and I got to do anything I wanted to do without feeling any kind of guilt or shame or embarrassment of sitting down and instead of reading my book, I would be watching my book, the stories, right, on Netflix as an example, or listening to a podcast or watching a podcast, that I wouldn't feel so guilty doing that. And I just realized, you know what, I can do that in the morning, and that way I feel like my days are much, much longer. And that way I'm much more ready and prepared for all the other calls throughout the day, because for me, it became important to have my me time and to just slowly wake up, just like the sun. The sun does not rush to wake up in the morning. It moves at its own pace. The moon doesn't rush to shine brightly and light up the night sky. It slowly comes up and it slowly goes back to sleep, just like with the sun. So learning from nature and allowing myself, and I say allowing because this is where I needed to start. I need to start with allowing myself, and also understanding what stories I was carrying around, not allowing myself to start my morning slow and steady. But other than that, top of the morning to ya, lassies. Have an amazing the rest of your day. Stay cool where you are. It's probably hot where you are. It's definitely hot here. And until we see each other tomorrow, either at the Sacred Circle, where Bethany will be leading, or live on my personal page, which we will no longer be sharing into the group, as most of you have already seen the changes to the group rules. So the live video that I will be doing on my personal page will stay on my personal page, and I will see you on there. And as always, if you are ready to get your shit together and break free from that mental prison that you find yourself in and build a business or a life that you're so happy and excited to wake up to every single day, then let's have a conversation and see how I can help you get there as quickly and as easily as you can without you sabotaging yourself too much. Anyways, until next time, have an amazing day. Debbie says she'll be traveling tomorrow. Oh, I will be too. Traveling home. Your travels, I believe, will be much longer than mine. So definitely have safe travels, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being on here. And welcome to all the new group members. And just say hey, especially if you watch the whole entire video. Bye. Have an amazing rest of your day.